Hey everybody, welcome back, and thank you so much for being here. Once again, we do have Amber with us today. Hey Amber, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. So I wanted to bring in these beings that call themselves the astral beings. And that's actually the name that's the label that they chose for themselves. And I actually had my own experience with them, and I wanted to have a little chat.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So one day I was in bed and I was looking at my ceiling, and I was in between that state of like being, kind of awake, kind of sleepy, but more awake. It felt more like meditative, if anything. So I'm looking at my ceiling, and then the entire thing is turning blue, and it has like this, it looks like this ocean of blue energy. And then I see this face, and it has these bright blue eyes. And then I see something that kind of looks like eyebrows. So there's like a face that kind of blends into a body, but doesn't really have a full body. It kind of just blends into all of the energy, which is really, really cool. And we were actually having a bit of a stare off. We were just staring at each other, just like. And it wasn't like a scary thing. I didn't feel any fear. And I felt like this really calm energy and loving energy and observation, of course. Right after that, I'm becoming more and more conscious and more awake. And then it kind of fades back into my room. Then I look at my window, and then I see this bright white light coming from my window. It just goes shh. And it felt like almost like an angel. It just like popped into my room, and it was like, hey, So yeah, I wanted to bring them in, and I think we've touched on this personally, but not like on a video before. I wanted to see why that experience even came to be.
Um,
I'm hearing EVPs. Ooh.
they needed to make themselves known and have it be this like splendid, spectacular thing, that'll be like instilled in you for a long time for you to share, and that's kind of just what the purpose was, to make a strong introduction. From their end, it's kind of interesting. I'm seeing like from where they were, they opened this tunnel and it like flowered and flowered until it kind of like opened into your ceiling, which is really interesting. From wherever they were, it just like flowered into this cool tunnel. It almost looks like if you're looking in a kaleidoscope, you know how like there's so many different like shapes and stuff. But the colors are primarily like different colors of like blue and indigo, some purple, but yeah, and it just kind of like flowers and opens and opens and opens until it just kind of like bled out onto the ceiling. It's cool.
That's cool. The being that you have with you, is that the one that was staring at me from my ceiling? Or is it like a collective?
It wasn't just one being, I don't feel like, that was looking at you. It was a combination of three, where it was they're putting their like bodies together, their faces, you know what I'm saying? So it was like one like two sides and like one middle or something, like a weird optical illusion thing going on. They're just so connected, like it's literally they are like water, where one person is all of them, So there's always some kind of like combination. But there is a stronger energy within those three. There's like one like more dominant energy, It'd be a little bit overwhelming if there's like you feel like three things just like staring at you. So the dominant one that was looking at you, is the one that's here, or the one that's talking right now.
Okay.
Because it's not here.
Okay. Do they still want to be called astral beings, or do they have something more specific that we can?
That's fine.
Okay. They don't care. They don't give a. And so, what is their purpose? What's their mission if they have one?
So their mission revolves around collective understanding, collective, almost like collective therapy, where they want to instill a ripple effect by affecting one person. They want that to kind of like ripple out and affect a whole group of people, and allow their love and calmness and oneness to really push through a giant group of people. It's like it's so easy to tap into that, but some people have a hard time, so they just want to share that and spread that as much as they can. They do that with actually a lot of collectives. They just like planting little seeds like throughout the universe, just like light and love just everywhere. You have friends in other places. We love you.
Aw, that's awesome. So there was another occasion where I was looking off at my desk in my room, and there was this blue light that looked like this sphere. I knew it was them. It was that same kind of vibe I was getting, and so why did that happen? What was their purpose?
I feel like, especially with things you've told me, you'll just get like random beings coming all of a sudden, just like, and then that's it. By continuously like putting little things around, it's kind of like instilling the fact that they are there and they're not going anywhere.
Okay.
It's not like a one night stand. It doesn't take off.
I have a commitment with them.
Yeah.
But what's really cool is they pierce into our dimension so well. I mean, they're just so like to really just go into the 3D like that. It's like they're pretty awesome because a lot of
Yeah.
things have a hard time, even JDL. I mean, well, you know how that's been going. I'm not gonna get into that right now. But yeah, they're very good. This is a while ago. I was actually coming home one night, and then I was about to make a left-hand turn, and then I was hearing train, 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 train. And I'm looking and I'm like, there's no train. I mean, there's a railroad there, but there's no train. And I'm like, okay. Then I'm starting to get anxiety. I'm like, okay, I'm really hearing train. I'm hearing train. And then so the thing is, when you make a left, it crosses over the actual railroad tracks. And then so as I'm going on the tracks, the red lights pop on, and then the arm starts going down. I'm like, wait, there wasn't even a whistle. There was nothing. There was no warning. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, me and the other car were like, okay, we booked it because we didn't want to get hit by the arm. And then I look, and then I see a train coming by. And I'm like, whoa. I mean, they totally, could have just saved my life. I think there was a good cushion of time for me to react, but I think it was enough of a concern for them to tell me that there was a train coming. So why did they feel they had to interfere in that moment? Was it because I could have been killed?
You could have been a little bit injured or like gotten your car kind of screwed up, but I don't feel like it's anything that serious. With those beings, you don't really think of them as like guardians or like they're like watching over you like that, like a guardian angel would. And they just wanted to assert that they have that ability and are doing that.
Okay. I wanna work with them again. Would they be down?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, what can we do?
I feel like they would just want to work with you on keeping your frequency high so that you're able to channel like the feelings that they bring about as often as possible. And they would also want to help work with you on like how you can integrate that into any work that you currently do so that it allows other people to also reach that point.
And for anyone watching, can they also reach out to you?
Yes, they can. They're showing me the blue sphere. If anybody wanted to communicate with them, that's the best way to do it. Call upon the astral beings and think of a blue sphere, like rotating and glowing.
Do they have physical bodies?
No.
Okay, so they're energetic.
Yeah.
Okay. And so their vibration is similar to that of an angel?
It's a little bit different just because it is. But it's yeah, it's very similar.
How long have they been around?
Um they're actually fairly newer collective. I mean, not brand new. I would say they've only been around, that's specific, 2,500,000 years.
They're newer?
Yeah. Earth years.
Hmm.
I don't know how to explain this well. They're kind of giving me the idea of I forgot what they're called. Is it like black matter? That's the opposite of, or is it anti-electrons? I don't remember. Or like if there's something and then there's like these tiny particles that are kind of like left behind from the whole. So if there's a good deed being carried out through light and love, there's like a part of it that is left behind. And it crystallizes and attaches to all of the other dust, and from there it was like they were born. They're a result of actions of light and love coming together.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. So just going back to my human brain. So they came from dust and crystallized, but they're energetic.
Mhm. It's not literal dust and crystals. It's just like
A symbol.
it's the best way I can explain it.
Okay, so it's like more symbolic.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Now, from you, what's something that's like really, really random and out there, or just something just crazy that you can tap into um, with their consciousness? Anything that just comes up that just might be kind of wild.
So they're showing me this being they've been working with. This planet is made like the beings are the planet.
So I'm
Like
picturing.
if we were the mountains and stuff. Sorry, yeah.
Oh no, no, it's okay. I wanted to see if I could like maybe like draw it like really quick because I'm like picturing. Ooh, there goes. I'm picturing something like. Ooh, don't want to show that. So like, okay, so let's say this is the planet. So I'm picturing like let's say there's like a person. Let's call that a person, and like so they're attached to the planet. And is that little like is that too literal?
Kind of it's like here, I'll get pencil and paper too. So it's like these blob beings. I mean, obviously there are more than this, but it's kind of like this. Can you see that? Like if each one of those was a person. So like it's
Ooh.
just like a bunch of beings like piled on and like in each other, and
Whoa.
then that's the planet. Anyways, but there's like one major one. I almost feel like it's like an Adam and Eve situation. However, it's just like the one being that like multiplied and caused these other ones. So it's like the like
So just like
main.
one
Yeah.
person multiplied instead of two people creating all
Yeah.
these.
But it kind of, I mean, this kind of looks like a dinosaur. So that's not right. But it kind of looks like that. And it goes like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Oh, it kind of looks like, kind of looks like a face a little bit, but it's also very like jelly. So I feel like if you had a human face and like it was very swollen and kind of melted a little bit, that's kind of what it looks like.
Uh huh. Hold on. Oh, I'm gonna grab something. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so I have a blob. Right. So is it kind
Oh
of
yeah, perfect.
so it's like a human face, but it's like a blob?
Yeah, exactly. The body is like a blob that comes out of the ground, and then its face is like a swollen, like kind of melted human
Ooh,
face. That
okay.
feels like it's in something. Like it feels like it's like in a like there's like a structure around it, but I don't know how it would build it if it's like rooted to the ground.
Oh.
Oh, it can like like it just like it can just like stretch up.
So how do they help it? Does it vibrate a lower level? Like what
Planet was a little bit more aggressive, where like they would like consume each other and like
like eat each other?
yeah, it's just really weird because they're just like all jumbled in the middle. They just like move over and like eat people on the way, and like it was just aggressive. It's very dark. Um, and by them connecting with the main being, that since they're like almost like the root for the rest of the beings, it deposited light into the rest of them, and now it's more of a they're able to make construct things. Now they can work together, and they're like it's basically taking this world out of the medieval ages. They're able to bring the planet to a more positive light, teamwork kind of place.
Aw, because they're all about unity.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, well, is there anything else that they wanted to say before we come to a close?
They're saying that it's really easy. It's a lot easier than you think to be happy. Just be positive. There's always a bright side to something, even when something like terrible is going on. There's always something to be grateful for. And honestly, like even just forcing a smile on your face is like very effective. at bringing your mood up, you know? So just encouraging, you know, smile at people, force a smile on your face, smile at yourself, you know?
Okay. I don't mean to bring the vibe down, but what if there's somebody in like complete depression and they can't bring themselves out? Like what can they do?
There's always something to be grateful for. And the more that you search for those things and really get in the habit of looking for them, the easier it'll be to find them. If you're feeling down, at least the sun's out. At least flowers are blooming. The world is spinning and it's a grand old time. You know, there's always something like you have a roof over your head. If you don't have a roof over your head, then maybe the weather's nice and you're not going to be cold. You know, there's always something to, at least it's not snowing. You know, there's always something to be grateful for.
Okay. So find something to be grateful for even in the little things.
They're also saying that they have a larger purpose. I feel like they're very complex. Like they're simple but complex. And they do a lot of work, but this is what they want to share for now. I think maybe at a later time we can talk about like their other duties because um they're actually pretty interesting. They're not telling me too much because this is all that they want to focus on at this point in time. But that's all. They just wanted to state that.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Astral Beings. And Amber, thank you again. And alrighty, we'll talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.